Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by today. And before we get started, I wanted to first thank those of you who were there yesterday in the live stream for the German channel. It was a really good time together, and we had, yeah, you can see over 10,000 views in total and more than 1,500 likes. So very, very thankful to all of you who were there and who support the German channel as well as this channel. And so first things first, of course, yesterday the big thing was the Federal Reserve announcing they were going to raise the interest rates, which they did from 0.5 to 1%. And they also announced they will continue to do so as it was already announced months ago. So and we'll look into the news and what that all means for Bitcoin. But as you can see, yesterday, before the news took place, we had a nice run up in the price, and a strong one at that. You can see it was about 6.3%. That represents a little over $2,300 in gains. And yes, another thing to mention here is the sentiment was quite the opposite, excuse me, as what many thought. In fact, a lot of the short positions that had been open got killed exactly in this area. That was because, yes, many people were expecting the price to continue to fall. That did not happen. In fact, the market makers were able to push them to higher levels instead. Yes, we also are outside of our downtrend line, or here falling wedge, but even though many people are saying we're headed to $42,700, I first have to be realistic and say there's still a lot of hurdles to overcome before we manage to do that. One thing that is worth mentioning is, yes, it is a good thing we finally broke out of this resistance line here, and we didn't even retest it in this case. We just shoot straight upward. Also, at the time of recording this video, at least, we find Bitcoin above the 100 EMA line, which is the blue line on the screen. That's a positive sign as well. And not only that, we might be even forming a bull flag on the 4-hour chart. That would be, of course, the best case scenario. That after the pump here, even if the price moves lower a little, then we go up after that. That would be the best case, but it's still too early to really say that that's what's going to happen. Hopefully, of course, that is the case. Another thing to mention here are EMA lines, the 50, the 13, and the 20 are starting to cross again, or have crossed already, and they're making the switch, and that, of course, is also a positive sign. But we can't get too happy too soon, because if it is like it was here, where we also make that switch, you can see that the problem here was we didn't stay over the 100 and the 200 EMA lines any longer than we should have. And so that's the name of the game right now. We have to make sure that Bitcoin stays above the 200 and above the 100 EMA lines for the long run. Otherwise, the price can fall back again, and then these lines here will make a switch again to the bearish side. So that's very, very important. First, all of these EMA lines have to make the switch above the 200 EMA line for this to be a bullish signal and say that was the bottom for that correction. Also, when we look at the 1-hour time frame, we see that here most of the lines have already made the switch. Only the 100 EMA line has to get above the 200 for the switch to be complete. But you can see we've been using the EMA lines here as a very good support. And right now there's a little bit of a cool off period or consolidation phase. And I would explain exactly where this is coming from. We can even see that also here on the 15-minute time frames, that we're starting to see a little bit of a sell-off, but nothing major. Yesterday I mentioned that my expectation was the price would go up and then drop massively again. Of course, thank God I was wrong. We did manage to go back down to test the 100 EMA line, but from there we found support and went up in the price. Now, to show you why this is happening with Bitcoin, here in this chart you have gold here on the bottom right, the Nasdaq futures on the top right, and then Bitcoin here on the left. And so you can see the correlation in how in the three markets. You have a little bit of a drop here for the futures as well as for Bitcoin, and then from there you have the run up in the price that we saw in both assets. Now after that you have this consolidation in the price, same as here, and then now you're starting to see a little bit of a drop here in the futures. Same thing that is now happening with Bitcoin as well. So that just basically goes to show that yes, of course, the decision or the announcement by the Feds yesterday was already part of what the markets had calculated, or they expected, because they knew, okay, nothing has changed. We knew about this decision already in advance, so there wasn't a whole lot of influence that this had in the prices. But we do have to, of course, continue to watch out for what happens every time the markets open daily from Monday through Friday. That's only my advice, because still, unfortunately, Bitcoin is very connected to how the traditional markets behave. Now let's go over and have a look at Ethereum and see how it reacted yesterday. As you can see here on the 15-minute chart, very, very nice pump of just about 5%. And also on the 4-hour chart, we can see that it's following a similar path as Bitcoin is. We have our nice pump with the formation of a possible bull flag over here. We find ourselves above the 100, and the switch between the 50, 13, and 20 EMA line is there. We also have our double bottom and the support here as well. One thing, of course, we have to manage to quickly move over and test or retest the $300 price level, so that we can move towards the target price of $3,150. But we have to be mindful, however, that you can see this white line that is coming over here. That's the A100 EMA line. And that line, you can see here support, here resistance. So at this level, I expect that there will be first, find a lot of resistance for Ethereum, as well as the $3,000 level. I don't think Ethereum is just going to quickly push through all of this. First, it's going to have to struggle here with these resistance levels. Now, before moving on, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the important content that we are posting from Monday through Friday. The news, of course, the biggest one being yesterday's announcement by the Feds that first we are raising, or we have now 1% interest rates. We went from 0.5 to 1%, that is. And they will continue to do so throughout the year until reach 2%. This has been one of the things that a lot of people already knew about, so nothing really has changed. But this was planned so that the situation in the economy, as far as food being too pricey, gas being too pricey, and other items that are necessary for daily living being too pricey, the point here is they're trying to bring some balance and hopefully alleviate some of the pain there. And we also see that not just in the United States, but we see that also here in Europe, where we have the same situation. In Germany, for example, inflation is 7.9%, which is of course very high. And right now, a lot of people are still able to manage with what they earn to pay for food and to pay for gas and other things. But if the inflation continues to go up, then it's going to become very, very uncomfortable for a lot of families in Germany, a lot of families all across Europe as well. So very, very important situation and point to be watching out for. Also, in relation to this has been the biggest raise in interest rates in centuries. So we are going through history, I guess, in the making here. Now, also in the news, Binance has been allowed to have operations in France, and so that is also good news. That means that if Binance is allowed to do business there soon, you can also see other countries like Germany and other countries in Europe follow the same path. So now let's go back quickly here and have a look at Apecoin. I know a lot of people are showing interest in this coin recently. You can see we had this pump here yesterday, and why we had this pump? Well, because Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, had posted something in his profile picture in connection to this, but then the price went back down to a point of control, and some of you might have used the point of control as an entry point for a long trade, and if you did, then congratulations. I also talked about this in my Telegram group. That's why if you want to join us, it is completely free. You can find the link in the description. And here too, I was talking about the pump that Apecoin had, as well as talking about Elon Musk posting this icon, or this profile picture on his account. So very, very useful if you're interested. Again, this is completely free. So yeah, that is also, oh, before we forget, the project Fame is now launching on PancakeSwap. So of course, this is a long-term project, so there's still a lot that could happen, and we have to see how it develops. But currently, it's a very stable, very interesting project. So do check it out if you are looking for new investment possibilities. Okay, thank you so much for watching, for your attention, and we'll see us again tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.